Good evening and welcome to the SanAntonio FC or SAFC Fancast. My name is Harry. Royce is tending to the family. Robert's Robert. J-Check he's Texas State, so they're gonna be 0-6 this week. So he's mad at me. I do got Matt. I do got Rafa. I'm trying to. Stuart's working. Although he hasn't really been capped, but he is in the chat, amazingly still. Along those lines here. It rained, so not San Antonio. I wish San Antonio season got canceled, but AJ's practice got canceled, and I was like, "Hey, you guys doing anything?" So here, cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Matt. We'll start with you because Rafa's internet's been a little hiccupy for that. Here, he's blaming the weather. I'm blaming, the new car, but we'll put it on there. But how are you doing, Matt?
Good, just cruising, man. Work. Not much going on. Just work and soccer.
Rafa, it's getting closer to high school soccer season. What, about a month and a half away? Before TAPS kicks off.
Yep, looking forward to it. We got hopefully a little surprise. I think a little game changer. We'll just leave it as that. But I'm sure everyone's going to love this.
Still working on it. Got to work some things through. See how much it is. This might be kind of a test year where it may go more unofficial until the end of the year for that here. But we'll see. So just like, I've talked with Puro, us, we haven't. Number one, I'll take most of the blame for not doing the show. Just working full time during the day, going to school. Although I'm taking business law this through here, so my tweets will probably be a little bit more lawful for that here because I'll have that education hopefully. So watch out. And then who knew that having two juniors working, doing their high school stuff, that my life would be, hey, taxi for them or Uber for them. So my fault for not doing the shows. And to be honest with you, at least from my perspective, not a lot to talk about. So it just hasn't been. So we'll just kind of recap last 5 games here. Last match was a 1-1 draw against Charleston. Sac Republic was on the road, and unlucky handball. They gave them a PK. We beat North Carolina 1-0. We drew Pittsburgh 0-0. And then we lost Orange County, Memphis, Tulsa. We beat Phoenix, but then we had lost to New Mexico United, Birmingham, Indy, Tulsa, El Paso. So that's been our season. A lot of people will say injuries. A lot of people will say coaching. I say a lot of it's been unlucky. Like the Sacramento loss, just 9 out of 10 times that's not a handball, or it's not a handball called against Bonnie, or his arm's not put in that position. But just on a high level, we'll start with you, Rafa. Your thoughts on the performance of SAFC, recently. I think it's improved, but how much?
You still have the inconsistency. I mean, that's, from the beginning of the season till now, you have to grow as a team. And like, if you look at some of the other teams above us, if you take a look at New Mexico, how they've grown, and, Louisville, Charleston, kind of the usual suspects. But I think this last game, that's probably one of the better games they played. I think they played a little smarter game. Um, just got unlucky because of the situation that happened or that substitution, which I'm sure we'll get more into. If you can tell, going against, like I says, this Charleston team, they weren't intimidated. I think they were, and like I said, when Matt got there, we talked about a little bit that you can tell they're a little more focused. I think they were very determined, and I think they kind of felt, as far as with the fans, kind of disappointed with their play the last few games, and I think, I was hopeful they get the 3 points, but it wasn't to be. It just takes that one game to really kind of get the momentum, and maybe even though it was a tie, this was still a good game, and for them now, can they build upon that? That they can play with the top teams in the league and take it from there, because now we're going to hit the tough stretch. This is where it counts, and we're still in strike, believe it or not. We're all the losses we've had, we're still in distance getting that last playoff spot, and maybe who knows, we end up doing like what Phoenix did last year.
I doubt we get to 6, so that is true. Matt, your kind of overall thoughts on the last few games?
I mean, they're trying. I mean, there's not much more I could say. They're trying. I mean, this last one, I felt a little more passion to it, but I mean, they're doing as best as they can. I mean, there's not much more to say. There's not much more to push in or anything. It's just they're just trying to do what they got right now. That's all I see it, and I mean, everybody has their own view of it, but we just roll with the tides.
Yeah, for me, like I said, so the two big things from this last match. One, the substitution. Jason Miranda, what's up? It was nice to see the players go to the bunker for the first time. I'm going to leave that to Matt. Did you want to address that now up front since it's already been brought up? Or
I mean, so as you've seen, I've been trying to spread the word about it. I mean, congratulations to Raz finally getting to speak up in the interviews, and she straight up asked. She asked Jorge, "What was the point? What was the motivation?" Like he says, if you watch the post match, he wanted to celebrate with us because you don't know what everybody's going through nowadays. You don't know what people what's going through their minds, what they're worried about, stress, anxiety, depression, all that stuff going on. But to go over and celebrate with supporters was, I say, a big key move to boost people to come more, to say, hey, they see what we're doing, they see what's going on. Like they wanted to thank us for being there. Basically, that's how I'm taking it. But like I said, shout out to Raz. I mean, she got the great pictures, just like all the others, and congrats to her being able to interview.
yeah, and if you haven't checked, and then we highlight some of Raz's pictures up front, please, if you can support her in any way you can, would definitely help her out for it. The other big thing, and to me, the other big thing as far as match-wise was the substitution where Pablo Cisnega was subbed out in the 82nd minute, and academy player Brandon Gongora was subbed on. Backstory on that, Pablo had an injury, 10-15 minutes earlier, where he caught, I think it was well, no, it wasn't the plate to the nose, because that was Tabani that didn't get a card. But I forget what the incident was that basically took him out. And
He was boot to the face.
yeah, well, he got a boot to the
Just in
face.
the face.
But he stayed in. They gave him the time. He played a little bit, and then he was subbed out really at a bad time for it here. He didn't want to come out. Coach Marcina and the post game mentioned that player safety, and he had to be, there was something wrong, and he had to come out. I wasn't able to go because AJ had a tournament game that got out at 8:30ish, so I was able to catch the game at home. And Katie, mentioned that concussion related substitution for Pablo. Jason McIntosh is on the injury list. He sustained I believe it's a lower body injury in practice for that here. So who knows his availability. So that's why Brandon was the backup goalkeeper, who unfortunately in the 84th minute, when he was subbed in, there's a foul in the 83rd minute. Jose Torres, in my opinion, scored a goal that I don't even think Pablo gets to. Maybe Rafa, you may have a different view of it, because I do know that Brandon's a little bit on the shorter side. But to me, it was a class goal by the Charleston, player. He had a hell of a save that's up for USL Save of the Week. So if you want, please vote for that. As an academy kid. And he also got a yellow card for time wasting in the 10th minute for that here, which will lead to my point here in a second here of what the hell were we doing along those lines here. But Rafa, your thoughts on the goalkeeper change? Obviously, Coach Marcini kind of left it vague that, hey, it was health reasons, probably most likely concussion related. Just the timing of it seems odd of it here. But if they saw something either in the monitoring, of there or his actions, because it doesn't look like he said anything, at least, through there. But your thoughts, number one, as a coach, and your thoughts as a goalkeeper, kind of on Brandon's position, or Brandon's position.
Going back to that injury, you kind of wonder what the training staff was looking at. If he was pulled out because of concussion, why wasn't he pulled out right then and there? I think that would have been more understandable. And I think a lot of the fans were kind of confused, like, why are we switching our goalkeeper? And this is right before the foul too. And I even mentioned to Matt, it's like, if Charleston gets a free kick around the area, they're more likely trying to get a goal on us if Snega's on there. I think Snega would have stopped that shot. And I think, honestly, that shot would never have gone on frame. I think they would have probably played it to the 6, knowing that he would have reacted to that. It was a great shot. Like I said, if our academy goalkeeper maybe 2 more inches taller, he gets that, because he did guess right. He did guess right.
Yeah.
He guessed right, and he's just a little. Like I said, it's just the height. I don't think he's got his growth spurt yet, but I'm sure he will soon. But you got to hand it to him. It is a tough pressure situation, for him to go in that, especially on free kick. But I think also our team should have been a lot smarter. Our defenders should have been a lot smarter than to give up a free kick around the area, knowing that Charleston will try to get one on frame like that. And that's what they started. If you notice, they started doing that. They started taking shots from outside. They wanted to test him. And we're a little nervous that, like, oh, here we go again. We're probably going to drop one in the last minute, because they're going to. But he made that great save. He was in good position for that block. And, I know me and Matt saw him after the game there going to his car. We give him a little shout out there on the save he made. But, he did what he had to do. Like I said, no fault on him. Like I said, he stepped up. And like I said, people kind of questioned the timing of the substitution. I did hear some comments about, that maybe the staff did see Cisnega was not, functioning right in the box as far as with kicks, or would look confused, and that's why he made the substitutes. But I think honestly they should have done it right away instead of keeping him in there. At least there we could have at least known. I guess it's okay. It'd make more sense because, like I said, it was a head scratcher after the game, and a lot of people were pissed because they thought Marcino was like, "What the heck are you doing? You just cost us the game." But now that we kind of know a little bit more, that's the reason why. But it should have been done a lot sooner.
And like I said, you got to protect the player both medically and his personal information. But you can tell right here that there's one sub window here where Gomez comes in, the sub window when Pablo gets subbed out, and then Bonnie gets subbed in, and then here's where you see the concussion, the fourth one here, for that here, with Hugo coming on. That would be the concussion substitution for that here. So that just reaffirms that, through here. And I know there was a couple of, fans that were upset, on social media saying, blaming Marcina on this. This was out of Marcina's hand. If somehow the medical staff pointed out something and said he has to come out. And that's what happened. Trust me, for Marcina, as a coach, you would not sub him out unless you had to, unless you were forced to. Just, it's an important game, and especially where they were up and how SAFC was playing, where they were bunkering in, they needed that elite goalkeeper because, as we saw, it only took one shot, for that here. Matt, your thoughts on it?
It's the same thing as Rafa said. I mean, everybody in the bunker looking at each other like, why are we doing this right now? Why would you do this? And to come and see the post-match interview and to hear from reliable sources, you had to do it. You had to do it. If you're going to protect the player then. But it's just transparency would be much appreciated. We're just saying, hey, we're going to protect the player. That's all I got to know. That way, nobody gets blamed. But it happened. I mean, is there anything we could do to prevent it? Most likely not. I mean, you got to protect the player.
So here's where I'm going to bring up my issue on how the game ended. We're 11th out of 12th. We haven't won back-to-back games and I don't know, what do we say, all season?
Since probably April.
No, we have not won back-to-back games all year.
Won back-to-back games? No.
We have not. And this one you wouldn't have won back-to-back games, but that's the point. Is we need all the points that we can get. And to me, the substitution pattern of bringing in Bonnie for Luke in the 90th minute, bringing in Hugo, for Agudelo, who just subbed on. Now, if there was an injury with Agudelo, that's a whole separate discussion.
There was an injury.
There was an injury.
I think there was.
Yeah.
But
I think it was
to me,
a cramp, like a bit.
But for Bonnie, for Luke Atkinson, that one bothered me because that told you that they were just packing it in and hoping to come away with the draw. And all credit to Charleston. They're an elite team. They're a powerhouse team. But does 1 point really help you? Being honest, does that 1 point helps SAFC at this point? I don't think it really does. We're 5 points out right now. 5.6 points. Does that matter? Where if you could have kept going in, where's what happened to one? Was it Brigadeau? or so fain to fall. But the loner from the lone player from
Orange County.
no, not Orange County. Chivas.
Yeah, he was there
Chivas,
on the
yeah.
side.
He was on the
No,
18.
they're both there.
Why
He
wouldn't
was-
you bring him? Why wouldn't you bring him on instead of Bonnie? And to be fair, Bonnie got clipped in the freaking face on an attempted bike that the guy didn't hit. How that wasn't even a card. I thought it should have been a straight card just with the high boot. You didn't connect. You didn't hit the ball. But
Yeah, the ball was nowhere in sight near his boot.
Yeah.
But that beside the point. But to me, my point is, Coach Marcina, there was 10 minutes of extra time. So this wasn't, hey, a couple of minutes. This was 10 minutes of extra time that they announced. Why wouldn't you bring on, was it Brigadio? I think is how you pronounce it. Why wouldn't you bring him on, especially for Luke? It's attacking for attacking instead of going attacking for defense. That's the one that baffles me. I don't know if there's a way you can. I don't know if there's a way you can explain that.
I mean, I kept looking at Rafa the whole time, like he's just standing there. Why isn't he going in? Agudelo got injured. Why is he not going in? I mean, I thought we brought him in for a good reason. I just
the thing. Yeah, the one thing is, knowing the situation of the season, you have the defending Eastern Conference champs on the ropes. You got to get a win on this. Like I mentioned to Matt, like if you can steal points from teams that are way ahead of you, it comes a long way because it's going to get. Those are games you're not expected to win. If you can steal points, and especially a win, if we get those 2 extra points, we're only 3 games away from that last spot.
3 points.
We're
we're
in
at
striking
27.
distance. Yeah,
we're at 27 points. Orange County, who's in a slump. Monterey Bay, who's in a slump. Who we play this Saturday night. Both at 28. We'd be 1 point behind them. FC Tulsa's FC Tulsa. Phoenix Rising, we face. They're struggling, like us. Now, we're not catching, the top 6. But to me, go for the win. If you lose 24, 25 points, I guess if you're 1 point down at the end of the season, I guess that's where, Coach Marcina or people, come back and say, hey, that's why you do it. But to me, it just shows I hate to say it, it shows a lack of confidence that Marcina has in the team. That, for 10 minutes, you can't, he doesn't have the confidence offensively to go out and get a winning goal at home. I understand on the road, but this is at home. Toyota Field, you had the crowd. I don't know. But
yeah, you gotta be aggressive. This is the game. You gotta go in with a mentality like, what do you have to lose? You're at the bottom, and what you can go up is go up. And you had this team, and I think we outplayed them a bit for a while. Maybe not the last 10 minutes, but we did outplay them for a while. We were out hustling for some balls, especially when we got that goal from Jorge. They were about to crack, and I think had we gone, I think Charleston would have fallen apart. They were in shock when, like I said, you can tell, like Matt can even tell you, when we scored on them, Charleston was like they were pointing fingers at each other. Like, how in the heck did you let that goal in? And I think the nervousness and then also maybe games. Yeah. To be, I think Charleston knew if they lost this game, they would have been in the embarrassment of the USL for the week. How do you lose to one of the second worst team in the Western Conference? Because remember, especially what we did last year, we blew them out 7-0. They wanted to do it to us, but kudos to our players. They fought, but I think you got as a coach, that your season's about to end. You got to roll the dice. take a chance. What else do you have to lose? I mean, if you get that winning goal, now you're a little bit closer to that last spot, the 8th or maybe even the 7th spot. So that's a head scratcher there. I think the mentality now from here on out, you got to treat it as a playoff game. You lose, you're out. I mean, we got too many points. We cannot give up. Here, like especially this next game, it's a winnable game. Now,
so here's a fun fact for you.
Go ahead.
SanAntonio has scored 2 goals 3 times since May 4th. Or actually, you can go to April 27th. Because remember, SAFC got off to that good start, goal scoring. But yeah, since the loss in Miami, they've scored 2 goals against Oakland, which they which they drew. They scored 2 goals against New Mexico at home, which they lost. They scored 2 goals against Phoenix. And that was it. Maybe that's
been the story of the year. The reason why is because we don't have a legitimate number 9 that can put the ball in the net.
So.
That's true.
That's
and that guy got sold in March. So you don't replace something like a goal scoring machine like that.
I mean,
over the other side of 30 to.
I'd give it to Soniak. I mean, from seeing when he was coming towards us, how many legit did he have? Maybe 2, 3 chances, maybe. And the ball just bounced wrong. It was just bad luck. And I'll stand on that hill saying, we could have won.
We're the unluckiest team in USL for this year. I made this comment a couple days ago on social media. Back in 22, we caught all the breaks. We had a great year. We won the title. This year, we can't buy any luck. Along those lines here, it's just, as fans, we know, hey, it's gonna be. We're just waiting. That's why when you go to Toyota Field, and we'll kind of move to Toyota Field and possible changes coming up in the new year. It's just not a fun environment right now, and I've been here since the Scorpion year, since year 1 of Scorpion's year at Heroes. Even back in the horrible even years for the odd years for the Scorpions, because they won in even years. It just doesn't feel this sad, and I think that's really kind of where people are at right now. Is just the experience for this year is just sad. It's just like the players are busting their ass, not getting the results. Coach Marcina, he's tried things that I don't think he likes to do. Like, to me, this last game was not a Coach Marcina style team. It's just not. It's not how he normally coaches. Now with this lineup, this roster, that may be how he feels he has to coach. To me, and I'm sure if Royce was on, he's like, his hands are being forced with all the injuries and through here. Players that they brought in hasn't worked. And sometimes you have that. But so, before we transition to Toyota Field and the game experience, any final thoughts from you on SAFC playing action from Matt and then Rafa?
I mean, I would just say keep
Good.
pushing. I just say keep pushing. There's not much else we can do. You just gotta be Nesco and finish it. There's nothing else to say. Just keep pushing. I mean, until the year is done, you shouldn't be stopping. You shouldn't stop trying.
And I don't think they are. To be fair, I don't think they are.
Yeah.
Rafa, your final thoughts, and then Darius, wants to make a point on a message.
Yeah, you gotta. I think this team has to, from here on out, you have to go in with a win or go home attitude. That's how it's gonna be, because every point matters from here on out. Especially, I think the next 3 games, it's a lot lighter. I guess quote unquote you can say, than what we have in October. And October is pretty much the most brutal one of all. I guess US. So if you're gonna try to make a move, these are the games.
It's got to be these 3 games.
Then,
it has to be these 3 games.
Yeah, it's and then take our chances here going in October. So, but we'll see. Like I said, what I saw Saturday, that was a good showing. Can they keep it up? Can they build upon that and take it to the next step? Can they finish? That's the big thing. Can they finish and add more goals?
And Darius brings up a good point. I don't like the focus the front office has had on acquiring USL players that barely played on the previous team. Agudelo, which I think that's a little bit incorrect. He did play for Birmingham Legion, but in a different position. Defoe was playing with Orange County. Solaneg had an injury and then had a falling out in El Paso. LaCava had talent but couldn't break it in with Charleston. And Nelson Blanco, I think he did play because he was a key pivotal player on their winning team. But I think you could talk about the international players. Was it Winbickler? He can't stay healthy, where he was supposed to do. Some of the injuries along those lines, just Lucas, and a lot of it's just bad injuries. It is for the hair. So Matt, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of introduce this next segment of what you're hearing about the changes for the supporters groups. What's what you'd like to see take place with the Crocketeers, 210 Alliance, and FTC.
So I know everybody's finally heard with the upcoming STM renewals, the bunker's going to 119. It was discussed. It was voted amongst the 3 leads. We all agreed, hey, let's give it a try. The motive of it is to not be so spread out, but at the same time, we get good acoustics on that side. If y'all have been there in the previous years, 118 was the spot. It used to be the spot. As just as much as what were they, 112, 113? The corners were the spots. That's just how it was. And this new year coming up, we're gonna try and run the dice again. They're gonna be able to just get supporter groups out there where they wanted to show us off without us being spread out. I have posted a couple of things on some of the Facebook pages and the on X. If y'all are going to be in 119, 120 next year, we're just fair warning. It does get crazy. It does get a little hooliganish, not so much, but you have your maybe a couple people there. But we like to go all out. It's just the SG ways. I mean, I can't stress how much we've been pushing to go to the north side of the field. So there's a lot of things we've been keeping in talk with. We're trying to make sure all these changes go according to plan. As soon as they implement the bleachers that are going to go in that open area under 119, we're supposed to have a walkthrough and see how do we dress it up? How is everything going to be? How is everything going to be placed? But I would like to open invite everybody. If you want to join us, join us. Don't. There's nothing to be scared of. It's still family friendly. I've seen kids just want to be there with us, just to be crazy with us. It's it's a fun feeling. It's a very fun feeling. I do want, since we're talking about the bunker and support areas, since I know I've seen a couple chatters about why some of us haven't been there, why some of us have been not there, I guess. It's just been miscommunication and family. Family comes first. That's 100% all the way through. Family comes first, and if I have to go do something for my family, I'm not gonna be there. If one of the other guys does, they're not gonna be there. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't stress how much I would love to be with y'all at a game, or how much another guy would love to be with y'all at a game, but it can't be always our first priority at the end of the night. And I do apologize, but at the same time, it's our lives. We have to take care of our family first. On that note, but like I said in a previous post today, please go out there, look at your seats. If y'all want to join us, join us. Like I said, it'll be a great time next year. I'm praying on it very much that we hit that change for next year. We have more fun.
And I'll add something to this, and I know Matt can't say this because he is part of the supporters group. Rafa, I believe, is also part of the supporters group with FTC on the leadership. I know James can't, Stuart can't, because they are part of the leadership. I'm going to come out and say it. SAFC has not made it easy for any fans this year at Toyota Field, and especially the supporters groups. The damage that they've done, and I don't think they really understand the amount of damage that they've done to the pregame, to the tailgate by charging this stuff, and the lack of transparency on how that went down, and just all that shenanigans that they pulled for a couple of bucks. That has severely, in my opinion, I'm not speaking for Matt, I'm not speaking for Rafa, I'm not speaking for FTC, 210 Alliance, or the Copatejas. I try to support all three. I like to think of myself as a member of all three for that here, officially. But I am not in their leadership, and I would not be in their leadership. So that way I can speak freely like this. SAFC, you have to step up this off season, and you've got to start to mend the fences. Not only with the supporters groups, but with the fans. When you have people like me that I did renewed right away because it's the 10th year. But even today, I'm like, yeah, do I want to call and back out of it, cancel it? I probably won't. Just I do love going to the games, but you've got to step forward and work more with the supporters group, and more importantly, if you say something, hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, follow through and make sure you're doing X, Y, and Z without them having to go out to you. So I know Matt and Rafa can't say that, and James can't say that, and Stuart can't say that, but I'm gonna call it as I'll say it here as somebody that's been a season ticket member since year one of the Scorpions. So with the 4 or 5 years through there, coming up on 10 years with SAFC. So that's what 13, 14, 15 years, whatever that is. No offense, SAFC. This is the worst that I've ever seen our club treat our supporters. And to me, if you don't get it turned around, it's not going to help. And I pray this is just a bad year, transition year. A lot of changes have happened. We're unlucky, a lot of growing pains. Just this year, please work with Matt, Rafa, Stuart, James, and whoever the other leadership is of the Copatejas. Just work with them. We want to partner with you, or they want to partner with you, I guess I should say, not we. But even we, as a fan, would love to partner with you to improve things for 2025. Because this year, I'm sorry, it is what it is for that here. But anything you want to add, Rafa, outside of my little mini rant there? Sorry, man.
No, you're good.
I think I don't know if you just to say, like I said, like this Saturday's game. If you saw the stadium itself, I think that's kind of representative of what's been going on, and
like the fireworks from Jonathan
not so much.
Dude, that was an empty stadium when fireworks were going off.
Yeah, but that tells like I said, I'm not, even though with the part helping with the leadership and all that, just kind of as a fan point of view, when you see stuff like that, it's kind of disheartening because you're, I know the season hasn't gone right on the field. But that could happen with any team. It's happened in the Scorpion days. It happens now. I think you can't lose fans. You have to be, if you're gonna practice what you preach, please do it. Make it a good, make it a fan friendly stuff. And I think, if you read comments on certain, pages and stuff like that, it's not surprising for a lot of the comments I've read, opinions and stuff and how they feel about things. And I think you have to take heed on what, I think there's an old saying, you want to hurt somebody, hit them with your pocketbook, but not the cash. But, hopefully, like I said, it's a learning curve from this as far as this season. Hopefully things can improve next season. Like I said, for me, I love like I said, I did renew. I can tell that I did renew because I love watching soccer, being a soccer coach, trainer and all that. I just enjoy watching because I like to analyze games. I like to see what the teams are doing. Like I said, give me ideas and so forth, and to keep my coaching brain fresh. I like watching what they do on their activities, even if it's the other teams. But that's experience I like. But hopefully, like I said, things are being watched. And last, I guess, like I said, it was a little disappointing last Saturday to see a lot of empty seats. And hopefully, it's not hopefully by the 28th, we'll see some of those people back. But
we know that
like I said, we're so.
And I'll address it. I mean, our couple doesn't want to show up, flat out. There's no hiding it. Everybody sees it. The couple doesn't want to come back for the rest of the season. It is what it is. An incident happened, took it out of the wrong hands, and he just thought, hey, I'm gonna take a break for the rest of the season. It's been a bad season. That's just flat out. That's how it went. The rest of us are still here. We're trying our best. There's not much more I can do from what I have. I'm literally playing with what I got. And I'm sorry for some of the fans if it's not enough, but I got me and my brother. That's it. That's all I have. And me and all my brothers, all the guys and gals. We're just doing as much as we can. And I understand a lot of y'all had questions of why the couple wasn't there. It's his choice. You got to respect it. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be back next year. We've been talking. Everything will be fine next year.
And that's why to me, for SAFC, this year's this year. But you have opportunities over the winter to build those bridges. And the first bridges that you have to build is with the leadership of FTC, Crocketeers, 210, and to me, like, rebuild relationships like with the Czechs, as an example. Some of your long-term season ticket members that have had a rough season just with the fan experience. It happens. I'm more sad that we're in this position, both in the standings and just on attitude through here. because I do think the players are busting their ass, and it's just one of those years that it's unlucky. You have those years where nothing goes right, and it is what it is. Like, you can see individual performances are great, but unfortunately we don't see 11 individual performances for 90 minutes, during games. And that's what the issue is. And like I said here, we'll see 7 or 8 of them that are great, but there's 1 or 2 mistakes. And I know Coach Marcinez, mentioned that, hey, we're 1 or 2, but whether it's coaching, just whatever, to me, and I still stand by this, SAFC needed to change. They decided they didn't want to make a change, and that, this is where we're at. So anything else on the fan experience for the remainder of this year? I'm not committing to, weekly shows right now. Just, I can't, just with my stuff. I know Matt's got a lot of stuff going on. Rafa with, beginning of school year, he's traveling about, and especially now that he's got his new wheels for here the start of the seasons. Always, hey, where's Rafa? If you ever follow his Facebook, it's always fun to do that here. And Royce and Robert, they've got growing families, and so it's not easy doing this. I know I'm trying to gear up for high school season to get back into it. And it's just hard to talk without getting super negative on SAFC, because it's not fair to the players. It's not fair to SAFC just in general to have a bitch session every week, for that here. But, we do want to try to maybe every couple of weeks try to get on to do it, or if there's something newsworthy I want to try to commit to doing more of that. I don't know if it'll be a scheduled thing here, and that's just on me right now with my work, and AJ doing 4 practices a night, and then games on the weekend. Not a lot of time just to do a podcast at a reasonable hour. Rafa, any thoughts you want to do on Draw Madrid? Since they're 10, 15, 20 points behind the great Barcelona.
You mean Brocalona? you mean Brocalona? Brocalona. Yeah, what's her name? Rafinha's already talking trash, and like you said the same thing last year, and look where you ended up. Yeah, I'm just waiting for when they play Bayern in the Champions League. That's when their season will start falling apart for them. So good.
I will say, watching Real Madrid it's like watching, or it's like me playing FIFA at the rookie level or at the beginning level, where I've got all the, even if they're crappy players, they still dominate, even the best teams. So they've got talent. They're going to pull it together. But as somebody that likes
and we're down 5 players too.
Oh, here we go. SAFC excuses there. Coach Kano with the Draw Madrid as well here for that. So, but no. Any thoughts on the world game or anything?
We got, yeah, that's true, Coach. Yeah, this weekend we have FIFA friendlies, right? So we got and Mexico playing some friendlies. Mm-hmm. Does the U.S. finally have a coach? Did he finally sign his contract?
Not yet.
With Pochettino.
Well, I thought it was a done deal, and then they put an announcement saying, "Hey, dude, is still searching for the coach." They named an interim. And then with what's going on with Matt's favorite EPL team, you got to wonder if he's maybe trying to hold out for that job, because no offense, but the coach of Man U, I give him 5 games, 10 games max.
But I thought they were talking about the CEO when I was reading today.
So,
but
and then you sell Sancho to Chelsea.
Man, don't even get started, bro. I thought it was promising.
How are you? What the hell is Chelsea doing? Just buying everybody? And I know they're part of the Big Six, so the financial fair play rules.
So. Yeah, that is Stuart's team.
Well, Stuart's, he's a friend of the show, but he's never been on the show, so the hell with him.
Nah, man,
Newcastle, with the richest owners, ended up making a profit in the last window. Does that make sense?
That's all that. But I don't know, man. United's just. I feel like it's SAFC, but I mean, not
They are
entirely.
100%.
But hey, man, I mean, I'm holding on one team right now. Hey, my Dynamo are looking good right now. Still in fifth place.
You can't talk about that team on this show.
I'm just saying, man.
Dude, Royce is gonna hop on and kick your ass, dude.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just waiting. I'm literally waiting to see how that USA Panama game is gonna be. That's gonna be a fun trip. That's coming up in October.
That's one in Austin, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Hey, coach, if you're still here, if you want to type in what's going on with 50-50, if there's an upcoming show, I'll see if I can see if there is anything for that here. We'll try to promote it, with our sister station or brother station. I don't know how you want to do it. I think we're the daddy though, because we started first.
Well, shout out to, like I said, to UTSA and UIW. I know
Coach, yes,
great turnout for that game. Me and Matt at the Miho and the coaches there.
Coach Pittman, 50 wins?
Yeah.
I saw.
I think it was 100 wins. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on,
his career. But that was a great game. Yeah, shout out to UIW. They're about the football team, and they were banging the drum. And I think they're on to something.
A call chant for UIW, man. I couldn't do anything. It was just one time, and it just didn't pop back. UIW, I need a call chant.
No, Coach Pittman, 50 wins at UTSA.
UTSA. Yeah, that was a good turnout for that game, man. But I mentioned they're onto something on that. I think next year, if they really want to expand this, I would love to see like a doubleheader, maybe like UTSA versus Texas State there, and then UIW versus A&M Corpus. I think that'd be a good doubleheader there at Toyota, because they brought a lot of. I think he was real nervous about how many fans showed up, but I think there was about fans, and then it's a great turnout. So it's a good way to promote the college teams too. So
especially get those kids out there.
I would love to see UTSA, UIW, and UT, and then if you wanted to be A&M or Baylor or Tech, have kind of that doubleheader of women's soccer at Toyota Fields for a week, back-to-back games, with a little break between it. And I think you would draw well, especially UT coming down. It's real easy for them. UIW, you could even have Trinity, right? Trinity has a pretty good program, for girls. UTSA and UT, St. Mary's,
and A&M San Antonio.
Yeah, so there's plenty of teams, but I would love to see UT, because I think if you brought in UT, that would help fill the stadium up for that here. For that here. And to be honest with you, it would help out now through there. Coach Cano mentioned with 50-50 upcoming episodes. Stephanie Webb, head women's soccer coach of UT Tyler, and Elias Ramos, head women's soccer coach of McKinley Boyd High School. So keep on the lookout for the 50-50 pod and Coach Cano, and I know Rafa, you're on there looking at more of the state level. As we get closer to the season, you'll start to see both shows pick up a little bit more for that here. And since my kids go to John Jay, Coach Kano, I hope when you face Jay, you take the L. So we'll just leave it at that here.
He's gonna have to get that hurt. He's gonna have to get that haircut.
I would like to shout out to one of our own members, Doc and
up in Furman.
For Andrew getting out there in Furman University, they're playing pretty good. I think they're playing right now. I would have to double check, but glad they made the safe trip out there. Hope everything goes good for Andrew, and I think he's third on the lineup. I think he's third.
Depth chart.
Yeah, I think he was third if I read it correctly. But man, congrats to him, and don't forget about us if you move up.
Well, Royce will be impressed that we're getting out in under an hour. Final thoughts, Matt. For you.
Just have faith, guys. However the season ends, just have faith. They're doing their best. We're doing our best. Just let this one roll over the shoulder, and let's bring in a new one when it comes to it. There's not much to say about it anymore. Another one, it's going to be hopefully something good next year. I promise.
Rafa?
Just looking forward to this weekend. A lot of action, especially on the international side. So we'll see how these teams are preparing. Like I said, we're only a couple years away from the World Cup, and some of these teams are trying to get in, and we'll see how this new look Mexico team, like I said, with Aguirre now, there's been some controversy on this for some of the players, especially from the guys from ESPN Deportes. They're not too happy with some of the lists, but there are some changes, but we'll see. All they can go is make their way up. And then also, like I said, if you have a chance, go to some of the college games. They're in town. Like I said, you have your UTSA, you have your, St. Mary's, you have your UIWs. So for A&M SanAntonio, Our Lady of the Lake too. Shout out to them too. Mm-hmm. So you got plenty of teams there. You can see a lot of talent from all the teams, and have a chance. And hey, take the kiddos too. They'll learn something too. Like I said, they'll be excited to watch some good college soccer, whether it's NAIA all the way to Division I. Talent is talent. We got some talented teams here in San Antonio.
And for my final thought, I got two of them. One, kind of echoing with what Matt said. We all have our personal gripes with SAFC. I'm pretty sure. I think a lot of us has kind of took a step back to kind of breathe and no offense, to keep going on it. But please do support the players. They are doing the best that they can. Just as we've discussed several times, it's just one of those seasons where they've been unlucky. But like Mitch Tainer, Manley, I'm trying to think of the others that have been here, Solinag, just the leaderships on they have, and then you've got Burks, the young center back that to me is, in my opinion, the MVP of the team. Played every minute so far. Pablo's, when he's been healthy, has played well. Jorge, can't forget Jorge. Jorge's taken a bigger leadership role with the club here, which I think for this community is really a great thing for both the English and the Spanish speaking side here. Be able to interact with both sides of that here. It's something I wish SAFC would do a little bit more, especially south side of San Antonio. Speaking of Matt, South San. They're also going to be taking the L to J as well this year, but everybody takes an L, or everybody gets the W.
Have they played them
yet? No, but they will, because I think they're in the same district this year. I may be wrong on that.
Man,
but
don't get me started about that one. I don't remember watching all those years growing up, watching Jay win against Southside. It was even a family thing.
That may be coming back again. But my other thought here, club season's in high gear at this point. Support the kids, but if you're a parent, don't abuse the referees. Let the referees do their job. A lot of them, are doing this as a second job or, along those lines here. They're out, I know they get paid, don't get me wrong, but they're out volunteering their Saturdays and Sundays to go out and referee these games. Do they make mistakes? Yes. We see mistakes made in the English Premier League, at USL, MLS. So you're going to see mistakes at the club level. Just support your kids, but be respectful. If you have to do what I do, go sit at the end of the soccer field. Just because when I get around other people and them start chirping, I start chirping. Doesn't create a good thing for the kids. So just like I said, do what you got to do, but support your kids. But don't get on the referees, that are doing that. Some of them are young kids. I know I had AJ go and take the referee class. So hopefully if we can get his login worked out, or if he'll give it to me, you'll see AJ out as an AR hopefully soon for that here. And this goes for high school as well. With high school referees, it's not easy. It's most, a lot of them are either retirees or, second jobs for a lot. Just support them, say good game. Now, will they miss calls? 100%. But just, make sure you're supporting everybody that does it. Because let's be honest, if you got a kid that's playing club, you're paying a lot of money already. There's no sense of getting yourself kicked out of a game because you couldn't keep your yap shut for that here. So that's it for me. Sorry, Royce, we went over a minute and 2 minutes here. So sorry about that. But what's life without goals? We're out of here. Peace.